Hello, hi everyone. My name is Devin Knaz. I am the leader and publisher of Travelweek, a media company dedicated to getting you travel agents the information you need so you can sell your clients on fabulous holidays. So today we have a very exciting guest. We're going to be learning all about the beautiful state of Oregon and all the many fun things you can do there. We have Greg Eckhart. And he's the director of global sales at Oregon. Before I pass it over to him, first I'll tell you the good news. We have 4 amazing prizes today. 3 beautiful blankets and one $50 Amazon gift card. So we're gonna draw for those between the agents who stay all the way till the end. So make sure you do stay till the end. And we'd like to answer all your questions. So if you have any questions about the state, please put them in the Q&A box and we're going to get to them at the end. And if you're having any technical problems, you can put them in the chat box and one of my production people is going to jump on and help you. So that's enough from me. Hi, Greg. Welcome.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Got to have this figured out by now. I was on mute. I'm going to start by putting a few resources in the chat, just so people have these. These will come up on the on a slide at the end of my presentation, so you'll know that I'm done talking when you see that. But again, my name is Greg Eckhart with Travel Oregon. We're the state tourism office for Oregon. We're the destination management organization. That means we handle marketing, management, etc. I'm going to go ahead and share screen here so you can see my screen. If I could get maybe either just a shout out in the chat box to tell me that you can see a picture of the beautiful Central Oregon landscape. I'm assuming you can see that. Looks like you are. Great, thank you. Yes, it is beautiful, Sarah. Okay, so I'm just going to go through how we'll sort of lay this out today. Here's an overview of our time together. I'll talk to you kind of about Oregon's geographic orientation first, and then I'll dive into each region, starting with Portland, and even give us here just a quick moment of quiet zen, so you can stop listening to me talk at you for a moment. We'll talk about guided experiences and maybe even show a video here of why guides are important to Oregon experiences, what the benefit is of those partnerships, and probably not a thematic overview of guided experiences, but definitely you'll get a sense of that as we talk through things. And then, of course, how to connect to all those resources, which, again, I did put in the chat. So Oregon is on the west coast of the United States. We like to say that we are California's Canada. We're in between Washington and California, about a 6-hour drive from Vancouver, British Columbia, or many flights Air Canada serves from Toronto. We also have WestJet service from Calgary, and then multiple flights a day from Vancouver. Oregon is also tax-free, so we do see a lot of drive visitors coming from British Columbia that are interested in coming to Oregon to do their holiday shopping around the holidays or even year-round. So again, I mentioned our state is organized into 7 different regions. And I'll kind of go through each of these regions and then talk about a guided experience in each of those areas that could be beneficial or interesting for you or your customers. You can see that's how we're broken out. Our largest region is Eastern Oregon. It also happens to be our least populated region. Our most populated region, of course, is the Portland region. That's our largest city. So you have a look at the map there, and of course, anybody can have access to this information if they'd see fit after. Just need to let me know. So Portland, again, is Oregon's largest city. It's incredibly unique. It's got world-renowned chefs, hundreds of food carts throughout the metro area, art and great theaters, and outside on the street. We also have the world's largest independent bookstore at Powell's Books, the highest concentration of craft breweries, from what I understand, in the world. We have a huge urban forest in Forest Park. That's where this image was taken of Mount Hood. That's our tallest mountain. And it's just not really your typical city. And if Portland wasn't that way, it really wouldn't be Portland. One of the ways that I like to experience the city and share the city with guests and visitors is by taking a bike tour. Bike tours let you see Portland like locals see it. One of my favorite things to do on that bike tour is ride over the Hawthorne Bridge, which is one of the 12 bridges that run over the Willamette River in downtown Portland. And that Hawthorne Bridge sees about 12,000 cyclists a day. So it's fun to cross that bridge as kind of, and feel like a local in that way. We also have great bike paths, trails, lanes, etc. One of our more unique offerings for bike tours is with pedal bike tours. They offer a really cool twist. They have a Donuts of Portland bike tour. So you visit a variety of different donut shops in the city, which we've been known for quite a while. It's not just Voodoo. There's others out there that are incredible. In fact, I just discovered a new one today that I need to visit. And if two wheels aren't your speed and you'd rather have a driver, another great opportunity to see the city is with Pink Trolley Sightseeing. Pink Trolley offers a narrated, open air, open top narrated city tour of Portland that includes a lot of our attractions, including the Portland Rose Garden. I promised a moment of Zen. I'll give it to us for a moment. It's actually a sunny day here in Portland, but this was taken during the winter. So we'll give you a minute here, a moment of Zen at the oldest Japanese garden in the United States. This is the Portland Japanese Garden in the West Hills. Love that rain. I think I have to go to the end to get to the next slide. There we go. Oops. All right. So again, moving through the state, the Oregon coast is an incredible region. This is Yaquina Head Lighthouse. It's just out in the ocean. It's one of 9 lighthouses along the Oregon coast. Our state is a great trip for a road, or a great place for a road trip, either as a continuation of a journey through onto California or just as a destination in of itself. Highway 101 follows the Oregon coast throughout, passing in the south near the crowded redwood trunks of the Alfred L. Loeb State Park, and then on the north in Astoria, where you cross the river up to Washington. Incredible guided experiences all over the coast, whether that's crabbing or fishing with Kelly's at Kelly's Bright Marina, or taking a paddling tour on the near shore with South Coast Tours outside of Bandon among the sea stacks. It's pretty amazing. Another incredible experience is not far from Yaquina Head here in Newport. It's called Marine Discovery Tours. They offer whale watching and sea life cruises out of Newport, Oregon, which is home to an array of sea life, sea lions, whales, you name it. It's also the home of our largest commercial fishing fleet and some of the best Dungeness crab you'll probably ever have in the world. I mentioned Yaquina Head Lighthouse. This is one of those 9 lighthouses on our outstanding coastline. All of those are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Most of them are accessible. There's one called Terrible Tilly that's currently for sale. If you look it up and you want to buy it, you could actually buy that lighthouse. So moving on through the state, and you can kind of see this is the Mount Hood Gorge region. This is quite close to Portland. The lake you see here is called Trillium Lake. Trillium Lake sits at the flanks of Mount Hood. Mount Hood is our largest mountain in the state. There's 3 ski resorts around Mount Hood. One of them offers skiing year-round. That's Timberline Lodge. That's our only ski in, ski out. Timberline Lodge exterior may look familiar to many if you've seen the film The Shining. The exterior shots for Timberline Lodge for The Shining were filmed at Timberline Lodge. Mount Hood is incredible. Again, I said the world's longest ski season, great lodging, some good wineries in the Hood Gorge region too. This region includes the Columbia River Gorge Scenic Area. It's a national scenic area. It's a little bit different than a national park because people live there. There's different commerce there, but it does follow the Columbia River, which starts up in Canada in the Columbia Icefield. So the Columbia River is the 3rd largest river by volume in the United States, and some incredible fishing again and experiences along that river. And on this lake, Mount Hood Outfitters offers year-round rentals and guided experiences around Mount Hood. They do paddling here at Trillium Lake. This is the first place that I tried stand-up paddling and fell in love with it, was at Trillium. In the summer, it's amazing, and Mount Hood Outfitters does a great job of getting people set up, guided, and help learning how to do those things. Another great option in this region is Clackamas River Outfitters. They offer paddling adventures on the Clackamas River. Again, very close to Portland. You're about 90 minutes from Portland there in that case, with that same beautiful, majestic Mount Hood as the backdrop. I mentioned wineries in the Hood Gorge region. There's some incredible wineries there too, but probably the most well-known wine region in Oregon is the Willamette Valley. It's a home to a great farm to fork food scene and a huge legacy of Oregon Pinot Noir. This is Stoller Vineyards. It's uncommon to not see people there. You usually see people either playing frisbee golf there. You can see the basket sitting in those chairs or swinging on that really cool tire screen. That area, the Willamette Valley, has got everything from shiny and sleek to rustic and intimate wineries and tasting rooms. There are 500 tasting rooms in this area. It is our largest wine region. In 2016, it was named Wine Region of the Year by wine enthusiasts, and makes for a really world-class touring experience because you just get a variety of different locations. You might be at one winery that's quite small, that's situated in a rustic setting, and you're talking to the winemaker there. That's not something that you get to do at some of the larger ones. So it's definitely a kind of diverse wine experience in that way. I think probably the best time to visit is in the winter. The whole tempo of the area slows down a bit. Crush has occurred. Grapes have are starting to do what they need to do after being plucked from the vine, and just the tempo slows. Great tours offered by a variety of operators based in Portland and Eugene and Salem. I would look at America's Hub World Tours. They offer day tours to the wine country as well as customized multi-day excursions around the state. For a more kind of up-leveled experience, I would recommend a company called First Nature Tours. Kieran does an amazing job of customizing programs in the Willamette Valley, and some of those even include immersive on-the-farm cooking classes. So you're kind of really getting into that, digging the dirt, getting into the farm-to-table experience that's in the valley. Somebody I saw mention in the chat, they have friends that oh, what is the daytime temp? We'll get that. Sorry, but I saw in the chat somebody mentioned that they had friends that moved to Central Oregon. This is Central Oregon. This is Smith Rock. This is a state park. It's an incredible state park, along with many that we have in the state. This is probably one of the most frequented. They have a smaller parking lot, and so they tend to get busier. And I definitely recommend guided tours going there, just so you don't have to fight for finding a spot. I mentioned beer in Portland. There's great beer in Central Oregon as well. They have an incredible ale trail, companies that offer tours along the Bend Ale Trail. One of the most recent experiences that I had in Bend was back in March. I took a tour with Bend Photo Tours. Bend Photo Tours is really cool. Women-run company. They offer photo tour experiences throughout these stunning landscapes of Bend, Central Oregon, and Sisters is another real popular town there. I thought it was amazing. It's perfect for the amateur or professional. I took the tour using my iPhone. The iPhone cameras are incredible now. And so they offer tours that kind of run the gamut. It was really interesting for me. My wife is a photography professor. So I was like, hey, this will be fun to take a photo tour. And I learned things using my iPhone that she didn't know about. I was kind of sharing with her even when I got back. That's a great tour. Incredible immersive experiences in Central Oregon. One that I also love is with Wanderlust Tours. They offer half-day naturalist guided tours and trips year-round in Bend, Sun River, and Sisters. And those experiences range from moonlight snowshoeing to exploring lava caves. In the case of some of the lava caves, Wanderlust is the only company that's permitted to offer tours in the network of some of those caves. And it's just an incredible experience. I think moonlight snowshoeing in winter is probably one of the most epic experiences I could recommend in Oregon. You hike through the woods, and there's a huge surprise at the end that you get to, and it's quite amazing what Wanderlust and their team do in terms of sharing that Central Oregon experience with guests. Southern Oregon. Southern Oregon is also incredible. It is our closest region to California, also home to our only national park, Crater Lake National Park. And this one of our incredible waterfalls that doesn't get the love that all the waterfalls in the Columbia Gorge get. This is Tokatee Falls, easily accessible. There's a paved trail that goes down to this fall, and it just spills right through that basalt, and it's incredible. And you just don't have a lot of people, which is quite nice. Southern Oregon is also home to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival in Ashland, which is a beautiful little town. It also has, just outside of Ashland, the community of Jacksonville. The entire downtown of Jacksonville is a National Historic District. I don't have a lot of hair, but when I'm there, I like to go there and get my hair cut at the oldest barbershop in Oregon. Great wine region down there too, in that valley. Some incredible hot varietals. See a lot of Tempranillo, Cabernets. So some excellent wineries coming out of that zone. Guided experiences there too are quite incredible. One of the most popular is Hellgate jet boats. They take you out on the Rogue River, which is a wild and scenic river, and then through the jaws of Hell's Gate Canyon to see wildlife, whether that's bald eagles, bears, deer. They have it. One of the tours they offer is an evening excursion that ends at dinner at a family style lodge that's just massive. And the only way to access that is with Hellgate. They own the lodge. It's a beautiful log cabin. Do a family style meal in this kind of family style massive lodge. And again, it's accessible only by that boat. If people are spending more time on the Rogue and want to really kind of get into fishing, Indigo Creek Outfitters is also another one that I really dig. They do fishing, but they also do a great whitewater rafting trip that they connect to wine tasting too, which is kind of a fun way to end a day on the river. And as we get to the last of the regions, the largest of the regions, Eastern Oregon, beautiful high plains, sagebrush, craggy mountains like the Wallowas, places like the Painted Hills, which you'll probably see at some point during one of our videos that we'll show here in a moment. But just a great outdoor playground as well, whether that's skiing at Anthony Lakes, which is kind of a remote, really great powder mountain, or steelhead fishing. Great wildlife. There's wild horses in Eastern Oregon. Experience that I really like there is with a company called Go Wild Adventures. Go Wild does some pretty incredible things, whether that's handcrafted gourmet wilderness backpacking experiences. They do parties and weddings too, but they do culinary walking tours in Baker City, which is a beautiful little Western town, photography tours as well. But it's definitely more of a kind of outdoor customized experience. Again, using that local guide to share the wilderness with everybody. Eagle Cap is one of the major wilderness areas that they visit. So I've talked a lot about guides. That's sort of why we're here. Why are those guides when you're visiting Oregon so important? Well, again, they kind of can help you plan your client's adventure with an expert. They'll share insider secrets and tips with you and with your customers. Gives a great connection to Oregon, helps the visitor better understand what the Oregon experience is all about, and makes safety a priority when traveling. That's what all of these folks do. And we know that that's critical to everyone, specifically when they're recreating in the outdoors, but for a lot of other reasons too, even just wine tasting, it's obviously great to have a guide because you don't have to worry about driving. So I'm going to show you a short video. I promise it's short. It's just over a minute, but it is some of the guides and the outfitters that we've talked about today. You'll see Dave from Wanderlust in Central Oregon and a few other friends along the way. So take a look at this, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Oregon is big. From the coast
to the mountains,
to the deserts. Yes, deserts.
it's hard to know where to even start.
So much to do around Oregon. A guide can help you discover new, unexpected ways for our state.
Because guides don't just love Oregon.
We live it. You know, every inch of these cities, these trails,
These lakes and rivers, and we can't wait to share them with you.
from showing you delicious hidden gems, unforgettable views, epic single tracks, so much more.
We're here to help you enjoy our wonderful state the way we do.
Responsibly and sustainably.
So whether it's your first time or your fifth,
The next time you want to see Oregon, take a local expert.
because no one knows this wonderful state better than the guides who call it home.
All right, so as you've heard, Oregon's home to hundreds of licensed guides and outfitters, and they're really ready to show you the best of what Oregon has to offer. Many of them offer thematic tours. Others, as I mentioned, let you customize whatever you want. They just really know how to put this all together, and we can connect you to them. That's why we're here today. Again, I put these resources in the chat there. And I think it looked like we did have, what is the daytime temp and nighttime temp? Is it still cold? That was the first question we had from Debbie. I can tell you right now where we're at. Things vary dramatically. So I didn't really get a chance to show you, but if I went back in this deck, I'll go back to the map. The state is, are you still seeing my share screen or no? Did we stop share? Sorry.
No, not at the moment.
Sorry about that. The state has a mountain range. You can see, if you can see my mouse line here, basically the Portland region, the coast, the Willamette Valley, there's kind of a line that runs down right here, just above this T in Southern Oregon. That's really the Cascade Mountain Range. Temperatures vary dramatically over and across, depending on what side of that mountain range you're on. Today, for example, where I'm at in the Portland area, let's see here. I can't get this to come up. It is 53 degrees Fahrenheit with the high. Actually, the high today is going to be 54 degrees Fahrenheit. So whatever that is in Celsius. And then you get, if I took you over the mountains today, we'll just look up Bend. They probably are going to be much cooler. Yeah, the low today in Bend is 30 degrees, so just near zero, and then 44 is the high in Bend, and that's in Central Oregon. So yeah, it really varies based on where you're at. Great question though. We're getting warmer, that's for sure. I bet we're warmer than Toronto, although I don't know.
I was wondering, does the coastal area get the same kind of rain like Vancouver would?
Yeah, it can. It really depends. So if you're in the North Coast, kind of where Astoria, Cannon Beach are on that North Coast, you tend to get a lot more rain, much like Vancouver. Same with Portland. Portland, Seattle, Vancouver get similar rainfall. The coast, as you get south, it starts to clear a bit with rain. They still get a substantial amount of rain. We always say here, there's no bad weather, just bad gear. So people tend, especially tour operators, they tend to persevere. You know, you got a paddling tour scheduled with South Coast Tours and it's raining, they'll outfit you and put you on the water as long as it's safe. They'll definitely get you out there. So yeah, we do get rain. That said, that whole kind of yellow section of that map, like Central Oregon and Eastern Oregon, that's high desert. So they don't get a lot of rain there. It would be probably similar to like being in maybe like Kelowna or over there in the Okanagan a little bit.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Vancouver, that was kind of the theory. Like if you plan to do something on a day and it starts raining, you just do it anyway. There's no rescheduling for the weather. You
can't. I mean, you wouldn't get anything done. When I first moved, I moved from a different state in the Rockies years ago, 20 some years ago, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people out and about and it's pouring rain. And it's like, and the guy I was with said that. I've remembered it since then, 25 years later. He's like, there's no bad weather. It's just bad gear. Like you just got to be prepared,
Okay, agents, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, to put it in the Q&A box, and we're going to get to them now, right before we do prizes. Greg, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on road trip itineraries, like which route would you suggest, and like how long should people allocate?
Yeah, so we have one of my favorite things in the world is the Oregon Scenic Byways program. So Oregon Scenic Byways are really the most beautiful drives in Oregon. I would highly recommend like Highway 101 on the coast is an all-American road. I'm actually putting our Scenic Byways link in the chat right now. That one is incredible. The other one that I love is the Volcanic Legacy Scenic Byway, and that includes Crater Lake National Park. And then there's also Hell's Canyon Scenic Byway in the eastern part of the state. That includes Hell's Canyon, which is the deepest canyon in North America. It's actually deeper than the Grand Canyon. There's the Hell's Canyon Scenic Byway. So I would definitely, if it's a first time visit, it's got to be Highway 101. The Pacific Coast Scenic Byway, again, it's an all-American road. And it's an incredible trip. I call it the Main Street of the Pacific because it isn't a highway. You're going through all of these tiny little towns, experiencing what each one of them have to offer. completely different. Those are routes that I love. You can access that scenic byways guide on our website, or you can use these planning tools, or just email me. I have some additional road trip itineraries that we put together. That resource kit, this Dropbox link, has multiple itineraries in it. Most of them were developed for FIT. There's a few group tour itineraries in there, but those port over just as well to FIT road trips. So you'll find suggested itineraries in that Dropbox link that I provided you.
So you think a week would be good enough to at least start getting a taste for the state?
Absolutely. I'd say probably approximately 8 days. Like our circle tour that we promote, which starts in Portland and does the coast and goes into Southern Oregon and does the entire state, is about 8 days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And where's the best place for agents to look for more information?
Again, that Dropbox link that I provided is a good resource for trade specifically. But if you know, especially if you have clients that are interested, just go to our website. It's a great website. It's traveloregon.com. We have another group that we work with. It's called the OTTA, the Oregon Tour and Travel Alliance. And OTTA is a great group, and they put together a lot of kind of suggested itineraries. These haven't been updated in a while, but they're a good group and they're trade focused. That's OregonPackageTravel.com, and I just put that itineraries link in the chat as well. And those are downloadable PDFs. I think there's like a best of Oregon in there, similar thing. But yes, suggested. Those are also primarily developed for group travel, but they still work just the same for FIT.
And what about any remaining COVID protocols? Like, are there mask mandates? Is there a Vax Pass? What's happening?
No vaccine passport here. In fact, we just got the opportunity to put like our vaccine info like on an app that the state of Oregon put out. That just happened this week. Mask mandates came off last month. In most places. There's still some businesses that require proof of vaccination, especially if you want to sit at a bar. You get that a lot if you want to go in and have a pint right at the bar. The bartender is probably wearing a mask, and they're probably definitely going to ask for your Vax card depending on the property or location that you're in. You get into the more rural parts of the state, just like it would be in like a rural Alberta or something. Same thing. There's just they don't care. There's no mask mandate or vaccine mandate. You know, I think we were talking about this before, but I think the only real push is people that are flying into the States, I believe, still need to be tested before they arrive. That hasn't ended yet, as far as I know.
Yeah, we should remind travel agents, Greg and I were talking about this earlier, that you need an antigen test to fly into the US, but you don't need an antigen test to drive into the US. So if any of you agents are in drive markets, you know, I personally drive to Oregon. But... Okay, Greg, we don't seem to have any more questions here. I'll let your dog finish barking, and
yeah, my mother-in-law's visiting dog. The pug is asleep. I thought you'd hear him snoring, but this is my mother-in-law's. Yeah.
Well, that's how all the agents know that we're, you know, live. Nothing's pre-recorded.
I'm so sorry, Max. Stop it. Jeez.
Okay, why don't I give you the floor to, you know, do the last sales pitch and really inspire everyone. Why should we be sending people to your state?
Wow, the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Because we love welcoming visitors from all over the world, and we love sharing it with everybody. I think you'll find that's one of the things that's so beautiful about working even with these guides and outfitters is we as Oregonians are eager to share our destination with visitors, specifically international visitors. We know that international visitors tend to stay longer. They appreciate things a little bit differently than maybe a domestic visitor would. And we feel like we have experiences that you won't find anywhere else in the world. I think there's some world-class things to do here. Again, I talked about wineries. You can meet some world-class winemakers that are just on the come up, and you might see them in a magazine in a couple of years. And that's how a lot of the spirit of our state is, I think, is people on the leading edge of doing great things and wanting to share those great things with the world. So, I mean, we welcome you. We welcome your clients back. If you have any questions, you've got my contact information. You know how to get a hold of me. But we would love to see you visit. now in the future, definitely. So appreciate your time today. Thanks, everybody.
Well, that was great. You've inspired me. I think I'll be in touch and I might come visit you.
Awesome. Anytime.
Okay, Greg, thank you so much for being here with us today. Agents, as we mentioned, there are 4 prizes that we're going to draw for. So we're going to draw them offline, and we're going to email you if you're a winner. And thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate you joining our Travel Week webinars. We try really hard to get you the information that you need. So, you know, check out our webinars, check out our daily newsletter, check out our magazines. And thank you so much for being a part of our community. So happy Thursday, everyone. If you're in a sunny destination, go out and get some sunshine. Bye.